Let's get on to the WWE Money in the Bank 2020 preview and predictions. It's expected to be taking place this upcoming weekend, May 10th, from the WWE Global Headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut, and also from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. There is a 1-hour pre-show. It starts at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and the actual show itself starts at 7. Let's go over the card as we have it. We're going to begin with the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championship. It's a fatal 4-way match. We have the New Day, of course, the 8-time champions now. They're going to be taking on The Miz and Morrison, also the Forgotten Sons, and also the Lucha House Party. You may be wondering, where are the Usos at? Well, one of the Usos, and I believe it is Jimmy Uso, I believe. He suffered a knee injury. He's going to be out roughly 6 to 9 months. So it's either Jay or Jimmy. It's one of the Usos who suffered the injury. But anyways, so that's why the Usos have been nowhere to be found here. So with the other one out with the knee injury right now. So that's why they're not really involved in this. As far as this goes, they seem to be giving the Forgotten Sons this big push all of a sudden. I just don't see them winning the match here and winning the tag team titles. I think it comes down to the New Day and The Miz and Morrison here. I'm going to pick the New Day to retain here for now. I think it's too early to put it on the Forgotten Sons. The Lucha House Party, there's no chance they're winning it. And the only other logical choice would be Miz and Morrison, but I don't see the reason to put it right back on them here this quick. So give me the New Day to retain the SmackDown Tag Team titles in this fatal 4-way match. We have the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. It's up now. We have Nia Jax, Asuka, Shayna Baszler, Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans, and Carmella in the match here. 3 women from Raw, 3 women from SmackDown. I think this one's pretty much a slam dunk as to who's winning it here. It's clearly got to be Shayna Baszler winning here. I mean, the only other person that would make sense would be Asuka, I guess. Considering, depending on how they want to go, but I have to believe it's set up for Shayna Baszler to get her rematch with Becky Lynch. So I'm going to pick Shayna Baszler here. Just none of the other women, except for maybe Asuka, makes sense, but I just don't see Asuka winning it. So give me Shayna Baszler to win here. We have the Men's Money in the Bank ladder match now. We have Daniel Bryan, Aleister Black, Rey Mysterio Jr., Baron Corbin, Otis, and AJ Styles in the match. I think this one's a little bit more harder to predict, but not by much, I don't think. Really, you can make a case for almost any one of the guys in this match to win. I don't think Otis is winning. AJ, they just brought him back. I don't see AJ Styles winning. Rey Mysterio Jr., I just don't see any reason why he's going to be winning at this point. Aleister Black, Daniel Bryan, I mean, you can't really go wrong with any of these guys. But you have to remember as well, you have babyfaces holding the titles here on Raw and SmackDown. You have, of course, Drew McIntyre holding the title on Raw, and you have Braun Strowman. Whether you think he's a babyface or a heel is up to your opinion here, but they're classifying him as a babyface. So the logic would let you to believe that a heel is going to win here, and there's only 2 heels in the match. It's King Baron Corbin and AJ Styles. I just don't see AJ Styles winning it, so I'm going with Corbin. I think Baron Corbin's going to win the match here. He's going to get the shot at the title against Braun Strowman. And I'm just going with logic, because typically I think a heel does a better job with the briefcase than a babyface. So you have babyfaces holding the championship anyways, and they typically don't do babyface versus babyface too often. So I'm going to go with Corbin here. I think it's set up for him to win. WWE SmackDown Women's title match here. We have Bayley defending the title against Tamina Snuka. The question is, in this match, how will Sasha Banks get involved? Will she get involved in the match? Will she play a factor in the finish? I just don't see any reason why you're going to put the title on Tamina here. I know they've been trying to get Tamina over as a babyface by pairing her up with Lacey Evans. Could Lacey Evans play a factor in the match as well? I mean, that's another thing we got to take into account here. And of course, we mentioned that Lacey Evans is in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. You have to remember that these ladder matches have already been taped in Stanford, so apparently the rest of the card is supposed to be airing live from the PC. So it would not be a stretch to see Lacey Evans, maybe, but I don't know how that would come off. No, I think a lot of people were aware that the ladder matches were already taped. Sasha Banks, obviously the wild card here. Tamina's not winning the title here. I could see a DQ finish or something here where Bayley retains. It would shock me if Bayley beats her straight up clean. I just see some sort of a screwy finish here with Bayley retaining. Maybe Sasha helps her with a DQ finish or something, but Bayley's my pick to retain it when it's all said and done. WWE Universal title match. We have Braun Strowman defending that title against Bray Wyatt. It is not the Fiend Bray Wyatt. It's the red sweater version of Bray Wyatt, Mr. Rogers' version, if you want to call him that. This will be interesting. Of course, the former members of the Wyatt family here, which they've been kind of playing up with the black sheep mask here with Strowman here leading up to this. I just, as much as I want to see Bray Wyatt win the title back here, I just don't think this is the right time to do it. I think Braun Strowman is going to win and retain somehow, because you know they're going to get another match with these two, and this time it's got to be the Fiend answering the challenge to Strowman instead of just Bray Wyatt. So that's why I think Strowman is going to retain the title here. Again, it could be with a DQ finish or some sort of screwy nonsense here. But I just don't see Strowman dropping the title here, at least not right now. So Strowman is going to be my pick at the end somehow to retain the title. The last advertised match is for the WWE title. We have Drew McIntyre defending the title against Seth Rollins here. This should be a good match, actually. We know these guys can go. This is actually one of the matches I'm looking forward to watching. We know Seth Rollins, whether you like him or not, he's a very good, accomplished worker here. McIntyre has obviously come into his own, looking great. I think this could be probably the best match on the entire show. The question is, will Buddy Murphy get involved? Again, you've not heard me mention about the AOP. Of course, one of the members of the AOP is out injured, so that's why they've been pretty much been written out at this point. So they did reintroduce Buddy Murphy into being his royal follower, I guess. So will he get involved? I have to imagine he would. In the end, no reason for McIntyre to be dropping the title to Seth Rollins here. I think in the end, McIntyre fights off all the odds and he's able to successfully defend the title here and will be leaving as a champion at the end of Money in the Bank. So Seth Rollins, I think, will give it a good effort, but McIntyre should be retaining, and that's going to be my pick. So there you go. Now, I do suspect we are going to get a WWE Raw Tag Team title match here with the Street Profits defending the title against the Viking Raiders. They had the match on Raw when the Viking Raiders won in non-title action, beat them straight up. So I imagine we're going to get that tag team title match probably on the pre-show, I would imagine. And if they do have the match, I think they should switch. I think they should switch the titles. They'll probably do 50-50 booking, but I would actually switch the titles and put it on the Viking Raiders. That's what I would do. If they have the match, the Viking Raiders are my pick to win the Raw Tag Team titles. So those are your official preview and predictions for WWE Money in the Bank 2020 that's taking place from both Stamford, Connecticut and Orlando, Florida.